Hi kids, it's Sister Anna. I hope you enjoy the lesson and the song. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hi kids, I am so excited you were able to make it once again. Today I'm going to be teaching about obeying my parents. I have a key passage which is Luke chapter 2 verse 41 to 52. But I'm only doing key verses, which is Luke chapter 2:51. And remember, the lesson is about obeying my parents. And it says, "And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them." Remember this. It is hard to imagine once Jesus was a kid just like you and myself. He liked to play. You see Jesus playing there with the stick? He liked to run. He liked to talk to his parents every day. He had friends. He enjoyed the time learning how to read and how to do his chores at home. Mary, his mom, was very proud of him. He was just a happy kid. And you see Jesus there on the floor playing with the little stick. He looks like a happy kid. When Jesus was just a little bit older, 12 years old, he went down with his parents to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. Now, his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast over the Passover. Luke chapter 2:41. He was happy to travel with his parents. They talked about everything they doing on the trip. And you know what? Jesus seemed happy being with his parents. When they got there, Jesus was so happy to see his friends, his relatives, especially because hundreds, maybe thousands of people, everyone wanted to go to this feast. Everybody wanted to be at the Passover. Jesus was talking to his friends and his family, but then it was time to go back home. Joseph and Mary also were ready to go back home, in the city of Nazareth, they started walking and thinking, Jesus, where have you seen Jesus? And they started asking themselves, have you seen Jesus? And Mary said, no. Joseph, have you seen Jesus? No, have you? Let's ask family members. Let's ask people that we know. Have you seen Jesus? No. Have you seen Jesus? No. So they began to feel very worried. By the way, kids, you should always be close to your parents. You never know what could happen if you were to lose sight of your parents. I'll be scared. I will be nervous if I lost sight of my destiny and Dustin. Imagine Jesus' parents. They were worried. Where were their son? Now listen, when they couldn't find him, they had to go back to Jerusalem to look for him. And they found him 3 days later. And it came to pass after 3 days, they found him in the temple. What was Jesus doing in the temple? He was sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. That's what the Bible says, Luke chapter 2:46. What a surprise for them it was. Jesus, who was only 12 years old, was in the temple with doctors of law, older people who taught about the law of God. And Jesus was asking them questions, and he was responding to their questions too. Remember, Joseph and Mary were very confused. They were very worried for their son because even though Jesus was God himself, it was the responsibility of them to take care of him. And they were amazed that Jesus was sitting in the temple with the teachers of law. And Mary, the mother, said to Jesus, "Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing." Luke chapter 2:48. And when Jesus see his parents, you see Mary, she looks worried, her face, and Joseph. And when Jesus sees his parents, he tells them he was busy doing God's work, talking about God with the teachers of law. He was not doing anything bad. He was just talking about God. But his parents were still very worried. But after all, the Bible tells us it's very, very important for us to know, and that he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. Remember, Luke chapter 2:51. Jesus goes with his parents and he was subject, which means he was obedient to his parents. Jesus was a kid of obedience. Jesus obeyed his parents always. Do you obey your parents? Uh-oh. Jesus always pay attention. Do you pay attention when your parent calls you? It's very important for us to pay attention when our parents are asking us something to do. Even though Jesus was powerful and God himself, he was obedient. He had parents to obey, and it was important for him to obey. He never talked back. Uh-oh. He never said no to his dad or to his mom. He never disobeyed. The Bible says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. God created a family, but the family was to work within the order of God. And God says that you, as a little child, as children, you are supposed to always obey your parents. Every time you disobey your parents, you're actually disobeying God. Remember that every time you disobey your parents, you are disobeying God, because God put your parents to guide you, to help you, to raise you, to love you, to direct you. And you know what the Bible principle is? The Bible principle is very important. Every time you disobey your parents, you disobey God. Every time you disobey your parents, you're disobeying God. Remember that. Every time you disobey your parents, you're disobeying God. And this is our last Bible verse. And the Bible verse is, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. One more time. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians 6:1. Hi kids, I hope you enjoy this song with Dustin and Destiny, Obediences.
Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe. Doing exactly what the Lord commands. Doing it happily. Action is the key. Do it immediately. Joy you will receive. Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe, and you spell it Obedience. Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe, and you spell it Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe. Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe.
I hope you enjoy this song. Bye.
Bye.
Join us once again. we're going to be doing the. I went blank. I am so glad that you got to listen to the Bible lesson. Have they listened to the Bible? No, todavía no. It's Sister Anna once again. I hope you. Obedience is.
Señal.
Oh, hi kids. We're gonna be singing along with Dustin and Destiny. So come and join us to sing along. Papa, you have to do it again. He's like rubbing his eyes. Hi kids. We're gonna be singing Obediences. So try to follow along with Destiny and Dustin. Obediences.
The very best way.